And we are live. So welcome everyone. Today we are going to talk with Esmeralda Carrere from BrickFunding.
Hello.
Pleasure to have you here. So maybe you can just start by explaining a bit about what BrickFunding is, what you're doing, and what you're experts in.
Yes, so I'm Esmeralda, and I'm marketing manager at BrickFunding, which is a global aggregator specialized in real estate crowdfunding investments. So we're based in Madrid, and it is actually 7 p.m. here. And yeah, I'm very happy to give you some insights on what you could do with marketing in order to have to market well your platform and to have more investors.
Perfect. Sounds very good. And very excited to have you on. And I hope the audience is ready to get some good pointers here. Yeah, Esmeralda, you created a very nice presentation. So maybe we can start by just going through that and see if there's any questions that pops up. Then I'll go in and ask them, and then of course you can answer them. If there's any for me, I'll be happy to answer that as well. But as usual, we'll be doing a short QA round by the end of the webinar. So in about 45 minutes. So please feel free to have your questions ready there. And Esmeralda, take it off.
Okay, I hope you're ready. So in order to market well your platform, you're going to need few elements, and that is what we're going to talk about. So there is your platform, and you're gonna need to manage a website, projects, communication, marketing, analytics, a lot of things, and we're gonna go through them, and I'm going to explain to you how to manage those. So first, create a website. So once you figure out what kind of real estate crowdfunding platform you want it to be and create it, you must create a website because that's going to showcase what you will do, your products. Whether you choose to build your own from scratch or use a turnkey crowdfunding software, your website needs to integrate crowdfunding technology. Since Katipult proposes this type of services, maybe Brian, you can tell us a little bit more about the technical aspect of it.
For sure. So what we mainly provide is a platform to have users sign up, whether that's investors and issuers or only investors, and really providing a platform for them to access a marketplace where the investment opportunities are available for them. And that's, of course, whether you're doing like a whole intermediate platform where we have issuers as well, and you as the platform owner don't really like provide offerings, so you might provide it simultaneously with issuers. But it's mainly to access this marketplace and be able to do investments. Besides that, there's the whole like following your investments, what's going on. So there's this dashboards for each users with the relevant information for that specific user. Besides the whole backend of this platform, we also provide design services. So that's going and identifying our clients' needs. We can go in and do custom designs, and then have that added to the backend of the platform, of course. Or we can go in and use an existing framework and brand that with our clients' branding assets that they will be providing, of course. And then it's really just providing that. And like, there's a lot of custom we can do. Like, if you want to go in and custom create custom user experiences, we can do that as well. So we have a whole in-house design team also. So we can provide you a full solution for all this. And for marketing all this, then that's of course where you come in there as well.
Yeah, so on a more marketing aspect, your website must reflect the identity of your brand, and it has to be attractive for new leads. So in order to do so, it has to be user experience friendly, which means give the user the most intuitive and pleasant experience. And also it has to provide the most accurate and complete information. It needs to show your purpose and your identity. So the navigation must be fluent and intuitive, and yeah, the information shared of good quality and complete. That's a must. So you have to see your website a little bit like a store. You have to be careful of what you expose, so your products, but also how you expose them and how you want your customer to feel whenever they come inside. So the looks of your website is very important, but also what you provide and this experience um, uh, the customer will have whenever he is going to come into your store. So let's talk about the how now, like how you're gonna make things appear and how you're gonna project this image you want to project thanks to storytelling and values. So how are you going to transmit the right information to your customer? Well, the method of storytelling is going to help you in that sense. A research showed that when someone listens to a character-driven story, their brain immediately floods with oxytocin, which is a love hormone. So it's very important to try to have a clear message and show your identity through a story that your customer can relate to. Sorry. So you have to tell your story of your company, and show the values of your platform. Of course, because you're a real estate platform or wannabe, it has to show trust and safety. You have to appear like you can be trusted because, well, you're handling money, so it is a must. And readers want something to relate to, and they want to make sure there is also a logic to it. So whenever you're going to tell this story about your company and about what you do and how you manage to build that platform and why, well, it is very important to tell this message and to have this clear message and this logic to it through every platform you're gonna showcase this story. So it is on your website by saying who you are in the part we are in the website, but also via your emails. Uh, when you're gonna write your emails, you want to adopt a certain tone of voice, or you're gonna decide who you are, and so you're gonna decide of how you're gonna talk to your customers. So emails and also the blog, if you want to have one. This storytelling is never ending. Whenever you're gonna talk to press, it's the same thing. So you have to keep the logic to it and have this storytelling going. Also, now I'm going to talk about the communication strategy because it's very linked to it. This way of speaking, this tone of voice you wanted to use, it's gonna spray through all your communication. Um, I separated internal and external communication because, well, we talk a lot about external communication, social media in general, but I think that internal communication is as important, if not more important than external communication, because and it works for all companies really, but in real estate platforms it works also. And the internal communication is primordial. It's very important because the message, if the message isn't clear for your employees and your coworkers, then the message you're going to spread isn't going to be any clearer. So in this logic, you have to keep doing meetings and explaining to your coworkers what the strategy you're adopting and what tone of voice you want to have. Because yeah, if the message isn't spread to the person handling your social media, for example, then you're gonna have a lack of consistency, which is the key word of this presentation actually, because consistency must lead all your communication and marketing strategy. So meetings, of course, and I know it's kind of hard sometimes because of all the work we have to keep doing those meetings every Monday, for example, but it is a must, really. It is something important to do. Also, I put it social media in both categories because, well, I thought about more likely of LinkedIn because usually in the part who we are, um, most of real estate crowdfunding platforms and platforms in general, when they showcase who they are and they showcase their employee, they put the link of the LinkedIn. I think that's a very good idea to keep that going on because it shows that you're proud of your employee and that you're not afraid of showing the backgrounds, and it reassures the reader really. And They can check the abilities of your team if they wish so, to really add the value of trust you want them to resonate with. So yeah, now let's talk about the external communication and social media, press, partnership. So social media.
Esmeralda,
Sorry.
sorry to cut you off.
No, tell me.
There's someone that has some problem with the audio, so I'm thinking we can
Oh.
turn off the camera just to save the bandwidth.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that will be better then.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
No. Okay, continue. Okay. So social media, so Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram are the 5 more important ones. Yeah, is it audio okay? Okay, perfect. um, so you can think about your company like you do for yourself whenever you want to present yourself in public and ask you the same questions. How do I want to be perceived? What do I want to reflect? How do I dress up for it? Why should I say it? How? Those questions are very important. It is very important to ask those same questions to you for gonna need to the word and use social media and have this consistency we talked about earlier. So on every social media, communicate a certain way. With the press, adopting same manners and trying to be present on press because it also gives credit to your platform and use also partnership for visibility and beautiful events, for example. Um, so we talked a little bit about content with storytelling, but we're going to go even more behind the scenes with SEO. So SEO is short for search engine optimization. It includes a list of techniques to obtain the better ranking on search engines results pages. As Google. Google is the most used, but following the good SEO behavior for Google, it will also work for Bing or Yahoo or other search engines. Whether you decide to own a blog or not, it is a great generator of content and it will help for the SEO. I highly recommend you to have one blog and generate an article regularly. Once a week would be ideal, but once a month would be like minimum. If not, it would be better not to have a blog because otherwise it will show the other like it would not show what you want to show. It will give the customer the impression that you're not um, regular in what you do. So better not have one if it is a bad one. Um, yeah, the blog is a great asset for your SEO because you can implement links in your articles that send back to your main website's content. And there is a big question people ask usually. What would be better for my SEO, having another website dedicated to my blog or integrate my blog in my website? So if you search for it on the internet, you will find both options. And before, everyone recommended to have one apart from the main website because it would create more powerful backlinks to your website. But actually, with the evolution of the SEO rules for Google, it is now basically the same. So it will depend on your marketing strategy. And well, personally, I would advise you to have it on site so your customer can visit easily your project after reading an article, for example. And yeah, I used earlier the words behind the scenes. Well, it is because the way you're going to implement your content within its code writing is important for the SEO. For example, the keywords, that's the top priority on the list I put it. Um, well, it's not the top. There are kind of all ranked randomly, but the keywords are very important because they're gonna be um, used for your ranking. They're gonna this is you have to choose your keywords uh, very accurately in order to have the identity of your platform showcased. I find myself. Um, the keywords can be one word, but it won't have enough effect. A keyword is usually a group of words like real estate crowdfunding platforms. This is a keyword. So it will help you to be ranked in the Google search pages. And it is very important to use a strong tag in order to, it's kind of technical, but it is very important to be careful to the keywords you use and be able to put them, to enlight them in your website to help your SEO. Also, be careful of having H1 tags for the titles, the page titles, also meta description. It is the little description you see, for example, on Google, you have the name of your website, and under that you have a description. This is the meta description that you put in the code of your website. And if the meta description is too long and you see dots, well, Google doesn't like that, so he's gonna try to punish you for that, so your ranking won't be as good as it could be. Um, yeah, also the speed of your site, if the website is too slow, it will also not help you with the SEO. There is yeah a lot of a list. If you're interested in the list, well, um, yeah, it is shown to you. You have the presentation afterwards. Um, and yeah, um, so yeah, now in order to increase your traffic, you want to increase your visibility, and that's what we're going to talk about with talking about Google, because it is very important to talk about this main giant because he's kind of ruling um, the market. So in order to increase your traffic, you have to increase your visibility, as I said. So we saw with the SEO that you could do so thanks to the use of well-targeted keywords. But organic referencing usually isn't enough for a young company trying to get known due to the number of companies listed. So yeah, the competition is real. So Google offers to promote your company and have a sponsored top ranking thanks to its software Google Ads, and it allows you to establish paid campaigns to get this spot and decide who you want to target to. So Google owns a series of free tools such as Google My Business, Analytics, Ads, Data Studio to get to know better your audience and have a look on the traffic and interpret results in order to act on it strategy-wise. It is important to really take a look at your website data in order to understand what you're doing right, but also what you're doing wrong in order to improve. And Google tools will help you with that. Now let's talk about marketing. So I wanted to make a little focus on traditional and digital marketing. Before digital, we were doing marketing thanks to flyers and we were sending calendars and brochures, and we were doing merchandising with mugs and yeah, and pens and whatever. Um, but with with the arrival of digital, now we have website, we can show content, we send emails, we make campaigns on social media. There is a lot of tools that we have, and the main difference between the two of those techniques of marketing is that one provides you a feedback on the results you have. You can see what results you have, and the main traditional one is a harder one, let's say. It's harder to get results and um, to know which customer came to you thanks to that. But now, thanks to digital, it is possible to have those results and those KPIs with traditional marketing. Because, for example, you can still send a flyer, but put a coupon with, I don't know, like um, a promo code as winter 28, I don't know. And so it would then provide a special rewarding on the website, and you can see now who used the coupon, and know from everything you sent what are the returns. Because gifts can generate wishes of loyalty from your clients. So it can be and digital and physical. And because it is very important to have that in mind, because you still want your customer to feel special. And I think that even in real estate crowdfunding, there is always a way to reward um, the most, I don't know, the better investor, the one who's the most um, the most loyal to your platform. and and also it is possible to do automated personalization, which is great thanks to the emails, and get to have a better connection with your clients. So now I'm going to talk about affiliate marketing. So how to maximize exposure and get active referrals. So what is it? How it works? So basically, your platform is going to promote a project thanks to an affiliate partner, and then the investor is going to invest through that in your platform, and you'll be able to track sales and to give them a commission to the affiliate partner. And that is what we do at BrickFunding. So BrickFunding, as I said earlier, um, we are a global aggregator specialized in real estate crowdfunding investments. And what we provide is to our platforms. Uh, we provide a descriptive profile page with all the information about the the platform, with a link to their project and to their platforms. Um, Depending on the collaboration plan the platform choose, you can showcase your projects on our website. And but if not, you still have your descriptive profile page, and people can chat with you, and so you can chat with your investors and see if you can have a special bond with them. Also, we work with data actualization and an API system. So the actualization of the projects are done every day. And also we provide a special place called Platform Manager to track your traffic and to see who's coming from funding and how many traffic they're brought to you. So that's basically what we do. And now let's talk about referrals. So in a lot of in order to have this consistency that we talked about, and to provide trust and share the values you wanted to share, it is, I think, a very great tool to showcase testimony and references on your website. Because, well, for two reasons. For testimony first. So testimonies of customers are going to add values and trust to your company, to your platform, because it's gonna reassure the other investors that they can trust you. And also, it's gonna reassure your partners. Um, and while partners, I think of two things. First, um, the press, because whenever you have an article going out on the press, it is good to link. So it's gonna help the SEO also, because the link is gonna do a backlink to your website, if you understand. And and also it will show that if there are main medias and very known, or for example, if the New York Times is talking about you, well, you better say that New York Times talked about you because it is a very great reference. So it shows that you're professional and that people can trust you and partners too. Then attend to the investors. So it is very important to show to your investor that you're here to help them. So there is a lot of ways to keep contact with your investors. Um, First of all, let's talk about the main thing is when they create a profile. So they have this customer portal that must be um, in, well, intelligible, understanding, and it has to be simple for them to use. And they if they need to contact you, it must be also through it. Then there is social media, of course, because whenever you're going to communicate through this medium, it will be helpful for your customers to reach you through social media, which are less and less considered as low professional. And if they use Twitter, for example, it would work as well as email. Then messages through emails, calls, SMS. It is very important for them to know that they can reach you, so you don't appear like a scam. It's very important to keep this trust and value that is very important. And also online online community. Um, I put it that here with discussion forums because in order to manage all your communication and your image, it is very important that you know whenever someone talks about you and your platform. And it is hard sometimes to keep track on that, and that's why there is tools like Mention, for example, who alerts you, which alerts you whenever you're mentioned, basically. And it is good to answer and not to keep those questions without answers and stuff like that. Also, live chat on websites. So it is more and more frequent that there is live chat on website that can help the consumer, and it's linked to sales and help tickets because usually you have that on your website and someone answered directly with a chat to the customer if he has a question and he's on the site. So it is the best way of turning this visitor into a lead, because if you answer correctly his questions, then he can invest, sorry, in your website, and then you can turn it into a help ticket. Uh, then it would into a ticket that can allow you to keep track on whatever issue you had and you solved. And it is, I think to handle all these tools, you must use a CRM. You can, as a website, you can create your own from scratch, or you can pay for a service like HubSpot or Salesforce or Nimble. There is a lot of CRMs on the market right now. I think it's the must, because if you want to have this consistency and you want to not to get loose into your strategy, you must be organized, and this helps a lot in order to do so. So in order to recap a little bit, how to create an attractive and successful real estate project. Well, first of all, the description of your project must be really yeah, Katipult to provide the CRM. Sorry. Um, but yeah, no, you're right. You did well. You did well to say it. Um, Also, yeah, in detailed description, because whenever there is a lack of description, the investor is less attracted um, to it and to invest. No, because doesn't seem trustworthy. So detailed description. Then a picture, because well, it is always more attractive with a picture or with a plan, and whenever there is not, it's it stays longer. Then a
Can
complete
I,
data.
sorry,
Sorry,
can I
yes.
ask a question around the pictures?
Sure.
Like, what does a picture, what's a picture worth versus a video, for example?
Well, video are very very more likely um, to attract investors. But I specified pictures because usually the projects that are not showing any pictures of videos or plans are the ones who are they're not attractive to people, and they're even if the rate is great, they don't appeal as much as when they have a picture or video. But the video is always better than the picture.
Okay, thanks.
Then so complete data, of course, with the the TIR, sorry, or the COC. It is very important to have a complete data. I put it easy investment because once all this data is shown and the person wants to invest in the project, of course, he's gonna need to subscribe and to answer a couple of questions, considering the country he's investing in and all the regulations. But after all this regulation and law um, stuff, sorry, I don't find the word, then it has to be easy, because if there is no easy payment and it has, well, people want to go fast and they want to be able to invest securely but very easily and fast, and so that's something to take into consideration. Then of course, follow up of the investments. They want to be to receive notifications whenever the project is complete, or um, once they can collect their benefits. um, Also, a good communication and marketing, and it is in order to make the investor happy, so he can talk with highly of you. And also, communication and marketing will be into the whole process whenever you have a project where you have to communicate about it and be helped with affiliate marketing um, through people like us as BrickFunding, and also through all the other through Google. That if you made a campaign on Google AdWords, it is good to communicate a lot about your projects. And after all that, after this round, then there is customer service that is very, very, very important, because your customer are the one who are going to talk the most about your company. And if they're not happy, then you're going to heard about it, but not in the way you wish you would have. So that's it for the presentation. I hope I was clear enough and that you understood everything. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask them.
Perfect. Yeah, I just messaged if anyone has questions, please type your questions in the chat and we can go through them. From my side, I'd like to ask a bit about like internal hires for a platform, for example. Like, do you need to hire I think they call it SOME, like a social media expert, or do you need to, like, for blog purposes as well, do you need to hire someone that can write blogs, or where does that lie in a company structure, for example, for marketing purposes?
Well, I think it depends a lot on your budget and on, yeah, how big you want to be. If you want to be a big platform, like a national platform or European platform, and if you have already a network. But I think it depends on the budget. If you have a budget, it is always nice to have someone in charge of marketing and communication inside your team, because it will be, this consistency I talked about. It will be very clearer and the message would adopt the way of talking about the whole team, and it would be it'd be best. But if not, if you don't have the budget necessary, then there is communication agency for the blog. Also, you can have someone. Usually, there is someone in charge of writing the blog and handling the social media, because you're doing some posts a day. One post a day is is a good amount. You can do more, of course, but one post a day, and then interacting the whole day with the customers, and yeah, and writing an article. There is one person who can do all that.
Okay. Can you ever do too much information?
Sorry?
Yeah, sorry, my audio is a bit cracking. Can you ever like post too much and provide too much information?
Can you have too much information? Sorry, I didn't quite
Can
understand.
you post too much information? So if you are on, like, if you're someone on social media every day, like if you post constantly throughout the day, like can you ever do that too much, or is there
Oh
any
yes,
limits?
yeah, yes, I understand the question. Yes, I think that it is not it is not good to well, and how to explain that? Yes, you can talk too much about a subject at some point, I think, and once you said it all, what are you gonna say the other days? It,
Hmm.
I mean, well, it is good to activate your community and to talk a lot with them. But I think that in the writing process, for example, posting like 15 articles a day is not a great idea, because you're drawing them into information, and that's not what you want.
You want to focus on one thing instead of too many things at a time.
Yes. Yes. Question one.
Okay, question one. That's probably a topic for this webinar. Sorry about that, JR. Esmeralda, have you done any ICO marketing?
We're not yet. We're thinking about it those days. Um, we're actually that's funny, because we actually talked about it in a meeting a few days ago. That we wanted to integrate. I don't know, more of a coin based, more of a Bitcoin vibe into our marketing. But the answer is not yet.
Okay, that's good. It's definitely something that's worth considering. You have another question coming up in the meantime, then maybe we can talk a bit about SEO, because like I know what SEO stands for, but I have a hard time actually figuring out like how Google or any other search engine like grab these words from your website. Is there a non-technical way of explaining that?
Oh, yes. I could try. Um, it is right that the SEO is very hard sometimes to understand, and also it changes all the time because of the algorithm of Google. Um, but the SEO is basically, yeah, it's the way you want to be ranked in Google Pages results. So you have to write knowing that the the um, the words you're going to use are going to define the keywords of of your platform, and they're going to define the ranking that you will have. If I'm clear, I don't know. I'm trying.
Yeah.
So so whenever you write on your website, it is easier to do so when you're owning your own website, and you know which tags you put it, and the way you phrased everything, because it's in the code itself of your website. But
Mhm.
I know that, for example, if you use WordPress, you can also have access to that, and it is SEO friendly because it's already made for you to appear. It's WordPress has like a link with Google that helps you to be ranked in a good way. But so whenever you use special tags to have your keywords showcases, then it works better, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Okay, fair enough. We can take a question from William Johnson.
Yes. Yes.
And yes, William, you can engage Katipult separately from BrickFunding, and we can always collaborate in a way there. But yeah, we will set up your platform separately, and then we can get it to work with BrickFunding as well.
Yes. Yeah,
I
we
can
can manage to work together.
yeah,
We're working separately.
yeah, for sure. And William, I can send you an email where we can speak a bit about a bit more about this. Maybe if you can type your email privately to me in the chat, or I can do that here. Yeah. So Esmeralda, is there anything else you want to share with the audience?
Well, is there any information they want to hear like more about? Maybe I haven't been clear some points. If they want some clarification. Um,
Let's see here. It'll probably trickle in. But otherwise, we will be sharing this presentation here. There's contact
yes, and
information in
don't
this
hesitate
presentation.
if you have any other questions. You can we put it the emails in the presentation, so you can reach us if needed, and I'll be happy to answer your questions about marketing and communication. And if I can help you, then I'll be happy.
Perfect. And you will have our contact information in the presentation as well. So if there is no other questions from the audience, then I'll say we'll wrap it up now.
Yes.
And then it's about 45 minutes, which is a really good time for length for a webinar. So I want to thank everyone for joining. I want to thank you, Esmeralda, for hosting this webinar
Thank you for
with me.
having me.
It's a pleasure, and I'll say we'll probably figure out another topic we can work on with you and set up another webinar for this.
Sure. I'll be happy to join another webinar.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
for listening to me, and I hope I was clear and that you learned stuff.
Yeah, I definitely learned something, so I hope the audience did too.
Yeah, I hope so.
Great. So
It was a
everyone, I hope
pleasure.
you enjoy your day. For those in Europe, I hope you enjoy your evening, and that goes for you, Esmeralda, as well. So thank you,
Yes,
everyone,
thank
and
you.
have a good day.
Have a good day.